December in the Marche region. In the distance, beyond those snow-covered peaks, lies a fortress that's been forgotten by time itself, Monte Cerignone. A medieval fortress town where Dante Alighieri's most feared warrior was born. Where Crusaders brought sacred relics from the Holy Land. Where an incorrupt body has lain untouched for 500 years. Most tourists rush past this place, speeding toward San Marino or the Adriatic beaches. They have no idea what they are missing. Today, you're about to discover the fortress that time forgot. The walk uphill isn't long, but every step takes you deeper into history. These cobblestones, they've been here since the 1400s. The same stones that Uguccione della Faggiola walked, the same paths that Dominican friars traveled, the same views that medieval soldiers scanned for approaching enemies. Monte Cerignone wasn't always a quiet village. In the Middle Ages, this was a strategic stronghold controlling the Conca Valley, the gateway between the Papal States and the Republic of San Marino. Whoever controlled this fortress had control upon the trade routes, the tax revenues, the power. The name itself tells a story. Monte Cerignone comes from the Latin Mons Cerignus, the mountain of oak trees. But there's nothing gentle about this place. This is a fortress designed to survive sieges, withstand attacks, and project absolute dominance over the valley below. The Rocca Feltresca, built in the 13th century by the Counts of Montefeltro, one of the most powerful dynasties in medieval Italy. But here's what makes this fortress fascinating. It's not just medieval. Look closely at those windows. See the elegant proportions, the classical symmetry. That's Renaissance architecture. In the late 1400s, this fortress caught the attention of Francesco di Giorgio Martini, one of the greatest Renaissance architects and engineers, the same genius who designed fortifications across Tuscany. He transformed this medieval stronghold into a Renaissance masterpiece, adding living quarters fit for nobility while maintaining its defensive capabilities. Above the entrance, three coats of arms tell the story of power in the Montefeltro. The eagle, symbol of the Montefeltro dynasty, the oak, emblem of the Della Rovere family, who produced two popes, and the third, the local lords, who paid tribute to keep their lands. Notice the double ramp entrance. This isn't for beauty, it's pure military genius. Even if attackers breached the outer gate, they'd be trapped between two levels, exposed to arrows and boiling oil from above. No escape, no mercy. Inside, three levels tell three different stories. The basement, dark, vaulted, with brick ceilings and beaten earth floors. This was the domain of soldiers, storage and secrets. The main floor, Renaissance elegance, frescoed ceilings, stone fireplaces, windows that framed the Montefeltro mountains like paintings. And from up here, you can see why this location was priceless. Monte Carpegna to the north, the Conca Valley spreading below. On clear days, you can see all the way to the Adriatic Sea, 40 kilometers away. But it's not the views that made this fortress legendary. It's the man who was born here. In the hanging garden of the Rocca stands a bronze bust, weathered, battle-scarred, intense. This is Uguccione della Faggiola, and if you don't know that name, you're about to learn why medieval Italy trembled at the sound of it. Born around 1250, possibly right here in Monte Cerignone, though the nearby town of Casteldelci also claims him, Uguccione was a Ghibelline warlord. In an age of endless civil war between Ghibellines and Guelphs, between empire and pope, Uguccione chose the side of raw power. He started by nothing but ambition and a sword. By 1313, he ruled Pisa, one of the richest cities in Italy, then Lucca, then San Sepolcro. His domain stretched from the Apennines to the Tuscan coast. In 1315, Uguccione delivered Florence its worst military defeat since 1260 at the Battle of Montecatini. Contemporary chronicles describe the scene. Florentine bodies piled so high you couldn't see the ground, the Arno River running red, thousands dead. Uguccione returned from that battle with 4 lances and 13 crossbow bolts still embedded in his shield. He was nearly 70 years old. Medieval historians called him virum acrem et strenuum, fierce and vigorous. Giovanni Villani wrote that Uguccione struck such terror in Florence that people believed he was the prophesied warrior who could cleanse Italy of corruption. Some scholars even believe Dante Alighieri had Uguccione in mind when he wrote about the Veltro, the mystical hound that would drive away the she-wolf of greed in the Divine Comedy. This bust was created in 1954 by Maestro Canzio Bardozzi, a sculptor born right here in Monte Cerignone in 1904. Bardozzi, who worked until he was nearly 100 years old, captured something essential in this bronze, not just a warrior, but the embodiment of an age when personal courage and ruthless ambition could reshape the world. Uguccione died in exile in Vicenza in 1319, struck down by malaria, not by an enemy's blade. His body was taken to Verona and buried in the church of Santa Anastasia, but his spirit, it still watches over this valley. Monte Cerignone guards treasures that go far beyond military might. This is the church of San Biagio, and inside it holds something almost impossible to believe. A Latin cross, not just any cross, a relic carried by Crusaders returning from the Holy Land in the 12th century. Think about that journey, Jerusalem to Italy, through hostile territories, across mountains and seas. And this cross made it all the way here, to this remote fortress town in the Marche Hills. Why here, we may never know, but it speaks to Monte Cerignone's importance in the medieval world. Notice the bell tower, those squared-off battlements. They're called Ghibelline merlons. The architectural signature of the imperial faction declared its political loyalty. The church also houses an Ecce Homo, a painting of Christ crowned with thorns, attributed to the Vivarini school. They were Venetian masters of the 15th century, working when Venice was at the height of its golden age. What's a Venetian masterwork doing in a mountain village? Again, it reveals that Monte Cerignone wasn't always forgotten. This was once a place of wealth, culture, and connection to the wider world. But if you want mystery, follow me to the Church of Santa Caterina. Built in the late 15th century by the Knights of Malta, the sovereign military order of Jerusalem, one of the most powerful religious military orders in Christian history, the Knights Hospitaller, as they were originally known, were warriors monks who protected pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. After the Crusades ended, they became a sort of medieval special forces defending Christendom wherever it was threatened. And they chose to build a chapel right here. Why? Because this fortress town sat on a strategic route between the Adriatic and the inland territories. The knights needed a secure base, and Monte Cerignone provided it. And tucked away in one of the narrowest alleys, almost hidden, is the Oratory of Madonna del Divino Soccorso. This 17th century gem houses a Madonna enthroned and two paintings also attributed to the Vivarini. 3 churches within 200 meters, each guarding priceless artworks. In most Italian towns, these treasures would be behind glass in museums, surrounded by crowds and security cameras. Here, they are still where they were meant to be, in neighborhood churches, part of daily life. This is what makes Monte Cerignone extraordinary. History isn't performed here, it's simply lived. But there's one story that eclipses even the Crusader relics and Renaissance masterpieces. And to understand it, we need to travel to a sanctuary overlooking the entire valley, the sanctuary of Santa Maria in Reclauso. Built on the ruins of an ancient Roman temple dedicated to Juno, this church became a Christian holy site over 500 years ago. And it all centers on one man, Domenico Spadafora. In 1450 in Randazzo, Sicily, to one of the noblest families in the Mediterranean, the Spadafora lineage had the honor of carrying a naked sword before the Byzantine emperor. Domenico rejected all of it: the wealth, the titles, the power. At a young age, he entered the Dominican order and dedicated himself to scholarship and prayer. The people of Monte Cerignone had a small chapel dedicated to a miraculous Madonna. They wanted Dominicans to build a proper church and monastery. Domenico volunteered. He arrived here on September 15, 1491. The church was consecrated in 1498. For the next 23 years, blessed Domenico lived here in this simple monastery, ministering the mountain farmers and shepherds. He died December the 21st, 1521, and then something strange happened. In 1545, when they moved his body, it was found completely intact, incorrupt. In 1677, when his remains were transferred to this sanctuary, still incorrupt. In 1874, another examination, still unchanged. In 1921, Pope Benedict XV officially declared Domenico blessed. In 2007, the diocese opened the process for his canonization as a saint. In 2008, they closed the diocesan phase and sent the findings to Rome. Today, his body rests in an urn in this sanctuary, nearly 500 years after his death, still incorrupt. Scientists have offered various explanations: natural mummification, the composition of the soil, the sealed environment. But for the people who come here, from Sicily to Poland to Brazil to Thailand to Hungary, the explanation is simpler: sanctity. Whether you believe in miracles or not, there's something profound about this place. A nobleman who rejected everything for simplicity, a scholar who chose to serve illiterate farmers, a body that refuses to decay. It's as if this mountain itself preserves what it considers sacred. But every light casts a shadow, and Monte Cerignone's shadow lies just outside the village, hidden in a valley that time has completely forgotten. Via San Donato, Valle Magnone, and there, rising from overgrown fields, the ruins of the Dominican convent that blessed Domenico himself founded. This was his original monastery, the place he called Il Conventino, the Little Convent, built in the late 1490s, possibly using stones from that ancient Roman temple to Juno. For centuries, monks lived here, praying 7 times a day, growing food in gardens that surrounded these walls, copying manuscripts by candlelight, and teaching local children to read. Then came the suppression. In 1652, Pope Innocent X ordered the monastery closed, part of a broader campaign to consolidate church resources. The building was abandoned, and the church passed to secular authority. What you're seeing is what remains after 370 years of neglect. But look at those arches, they're still standing. That's medieval engineering. That's stone cut by hands that believed this place would last forever. Nature is slowly reclaiming it. Vines crawl through window frames. Trees root in what were once prayer halls. Birds nest in niches that once held saints' statues. There's something haunting about abandoned sacred spaces. They remind us that nothing, no matter how holy, how permanent, how certain it seems, lasts forever. Except, in a way, it does last. Because we are here, you're watching this, and for a moment, these ruins aren't forgotten anymore. Blessed Domenico built this place to honor God and serve the poor, and maybe, in showing you these ruins, in preserving them on digital film, we're still serving that mission, remembering what was, honoring what remains. So why doesn't anyone know about Monte Cerignone? Maybe because it's overshadowed by its famous neighbors Urbino, San Marino, Rimini, or maybe because it's just remote enough to escape the tourist machine. Or maybe because Monte Cerignone itself refuses to perform hastily like a theme park. There are no gift shops selling medieval night magnets, no audio guides in 15 languages, no crowds posing for Instagram, just stone streets worn smooth by 700 years of footsteps, churches still used for prayer, not just tourism, ruins that crumble in silence because there's no money to preserve them. This is what real history looks like. Imperfect, incomplete, unglamorous, beautiful precisely because it hasn't been polished and packaged for consumption. Uguccione della Faggiola conquered cities. Blessed Domenico Spadafora conquered himself. Both men were born from this mountain fortress. Both left marks on history that still resonate. Canzio Bardozzi sculpted Uguccione's bust and worked in this village until he was nearly 100 years old, a different kind of legacy. The Crusaders brought their sacred cross and disappeared into legend. The Knights of Malta built their chapel and moved on. And the ordinary people of Monte Cerignone? They've been here through it all. Through sieges and plagues, through the rise and fall of republics and kingdoms, through 2 world wars. They're still here, keeping memory alive simply by living. Maybe that's why this place matters, not because it's grand or famous, but because it's real, because it proves that history isn't just about the big moments we read in textbooks. History is the cobblestones under your feet, the church bell that still rings at noon, the arch that refuses to fall, the body that will not decay. Monte Cerignone is a place that time forgot, but now you remember.